Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's May the 28th, 2018, and welcome to the Observance of Memorial Day in Westminster, Maryland, brought to you by the American Legion Post number 31 of Westminster, along with the cooperation of the Mayor and City Council of Westminster, the Westminster Police Department, the Westminster Fire Department, and the State Police. American Legion Post number 31 thanks all of these organizations for joining us in this grateful remembrance of Memorial Day for those who have served and for those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. My partner today at this observance is Mr. Richard Stem, who was a United States Army veteran during the Vietnam era, and I am a veteran of the Korean War, having served in a MASH outfit in Korea. As I said, this is the 151-year observance of Memorial Day. That's right, 151. We contend that we are the oldest observance of Memorial Day in the United States. Now, there's a little organization up in upstate New York that claims they're the oldest, but we'll go along with them and let them have their fun, but we think we are the oldest. In 1868, General Joshua Logan, the commander of the Grand Army of the Republic, which was the veterans organization for those who had served during the Korean War, asked all people in the United States to cut their flowers and on May the 30th take their flowers to their local cemeteries and decorate the graves of Union soldiers who had died during the conflict. Miss Mary Shellman, a 16-year-old daughter of the mayor of Westminster, organized two groups of children, those from St. John's Parochial School, which was located then on Main Street, right where the library is, which in fact is where we are broadcasting from, right in front of the Carroll County Public Library on Main Street. They started from here and marched up Main Street, the main and center, where they were joined by children from the East End Elementary School, which exactly was the only elementary school in Westminster at the time, continued up Main Street until they came to Church Street, turned left there into the Westminster Cemetery, where they decorated the graves of Union soldiers buried there. They also had a small memorial service there at the time. From that time on, Miss Mary Shellman continued to organize this parade and observance of Memorial Day each and every day, every year, until up in the 19-teens, late 19-teens, early 1920s, when she had gotten precipitously old in her time and wanted to move to Texas to be with her brother. At that time, the American Legion Post 1919 had just been formed by Mr. Frank Mitten as the commander. He joined with Miss Shellman and took over the organization and the conducting of the parade. So the American Legion Post number 31 in Westminster, in cooperation with a lot of other organizations, have performed this service ever since. And it is a real pleasure to do so, to honor those who have served the most and those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice with their life. We're here on Main Street, as I said, in front of the library. There's a wonderful crowd out today, even though it is misty and rainy and cold, but the people have showed up. You may be able to hear in the background motorcycles. That's the American Legion Riders. They lead off the parade each and every year, an organization that is part of the American Legion Post number 31, the American Legion Posts all over the United States. And they are loud when they come by. So when they get here, you probably won't be able to hear me, but they're a wonderful group of guys, men and women of all kinds of professions and occupations. They do a lot of fundraising, especially for Carroll Hospice, which has been a pet project of them for many years, and they have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for hospice. Mr. Stem and I are very proud to be members of American Legion Post number 31. We have nearly 1,000 members. We are the largest post in this district, and moving to over 1,000, which would make us the 4th largest in the state. We're very proud. If you don't know, the American Legion is the largest philanthropic organization in the United States. They support Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Little League Baseball, Boys State, Girls State, lots of local communities, organizations and charities such as Rape Crisis, Hospice, Carroll Community College, where there are a couple nursing scholarships at McDaniel College, awards at the graduation ceremonies from Westminster High School, as well as the Winters Mill High School. So they are very active in their fundraising, and we hope that you will support them in those activities, knowing that all monies raised locally stay locally, except for the national organization like Boys State and the American Legion Oratorial Contest, where scholarships are given out. So we're very proud to be members of the American Legion, and we're very proud to be veterans having served our country. As you can see on your screen, you see the Legion riders approaching. They stop every so often and give out small American flags, especially to the children along the parade route. As you can see along the parade route, it's very well populated by the people who have come out on this misty, cold day. So we're very happy that they have joined us for this observance of Memorial Day. And by the way, the correct terminology is observance of Memorial Day. It's not a holiday, it's not a celebration, because this is to honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice and those who have served our nation in the many wars since the Revolutionary War. So here come the Legion Riders. Yay! Very cover. A great group of people, many of them carrying their children. They love to rev up those engines. There'll be a slight pause now between the Legion Riders and the Westminster City Police van, which heads off the parade. Make sure that all the intersections are closed. That's what we mean by cooperation with the city police and the fire police of Westminster, as well as the state police. In order to conduct a parade of this nature, you can't imagine all the little things that have to be taken care of. All the intersections have to be closed off. Traffic has to be redirected from 140 off of 27, 32, 97. So it's a large undertaking of a lot of different people's involvement to conduct a parade of this nature. But we're very happy to have them on board and have it go so well each and every year.
I'd like to say welcome. My name is Richard Stanley. I'm the First Vice Commander of the American Legion, but Post 31. I'd like to say good morning to you all. Also, this is a very somber day from our veterans that have passed away in wars that have happened, and also to the veterans that are serving this day. So again, like Skip said, it's good to have Skip back. Skip has been gone last year for a little while, but he's back with us, and he's here to do the parade, and I'm helping him out. So again, we'll let Skip talk again.
Very happy to have you, Richard, and you did a wonderful job last year in my absence. I'm delighted to be back, and I know things will go well with you. I couldn't ask for a better partner.
Thank you, sir.
We have some of the motorcyclists right in front of us at the moment. They've stopped and they're giving out small American flags to the children, and the children are just flocking to them to get their flags. And they're also giving a few out to seniors and others. Anytime you can wave the flag, that's a great symbol of patriotism, and the American Legion and all veterans appreciate it. It's a real pleasure just watching the faces of the children as they get the flags and start waving them. It's a great time to start to teach patriotism to our young people. One thing that we need more of is patriotism and respect for the American flag. Stand up when it comes by, salute when the national anthem is played, take your hat off, put your hand over your heart, teach your children patriotism for the American flag and America in general. We're waving to members of the American Legion Riders. Of course, they're all friends of ours. Jim, is that Jim Beckman?
That's correct.
That's Jim Beckman, the adjutant of the post on the motorcycle directly in front of us. He just sent us for the American flag. Can we find a place to display it? Richard, we'll do it somehow.
Will it fit in my hat?
There's a little break in the parade, but let me mention the fact that Richard and I are wearing red poppies, and later in the parade you'll see Junior Miss Poppy and Miss Poppy herself. And for those of you who don't know the symbolism of the red poppy, of course it comes from the very famous poem that was written after the Second Battle of the Somme in the First World War, when, can you believe it, there were 250,000 casualties in that one battle alone. And a British medical doctor wrote the famous poem Flanders Fields, where poppies grow row upon row. And since that time it has been picked up as the symbol of those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice, and the Ladies Auxiliary of the American Legion each and every year sells these red poppies for any donation that you would like to give, 50 cents, $1, $5, whatever, and they use that money to support veterans in the hospitals and nursing centers around Carroll County and around Maryland, to surprise them with gifts and toiletries and things that they would need in one of those institutions. It's a great operation, so anytime you see members of the Westminster American Legion Auxiliary members and they have poppies in their hand, take one and give them a donation. The money goes to a great cause, support of veterans in the hospitals. So that's the story of poppies, a remarkable achievement for those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in that tremendous, horrendous battle in the First World War, being remembered with the poppies. There's a great turnout today along the route. I'm really surprised. It's very windy, cold, and misty. It's not a good day, but the turnout is excellent. It's almost wall-to-wall people up and down Main Street where we are located in front of the library. And by the way, while I mentioned library, we were invited to observe a window in the library put on by the Eckert brothers, Tony and Michael. It's an exhibit of World War, all kinds of World War uniforms, First World War uniforms, Second World War uniforms, and other memorabilia, especially those from Westminster. It has some troop pictures of those from Westminster who served in the First World War. If you come by the library, be sure to visit that window and look at that exhibit. It was beautifully, beautifully done, and Michael Eckert is very proud of his collection. Those uniforms are all part of his collection, and that's his hobby, collecting military uniforms from all the services. In the window, I think he has Navy uniforms from the First World War, Army uniforms, Air Force uniforms, First and Second World War. So be sure and take a look at it. It's very, very interesting. And hats off to Michael and the Eckert brothers for the patriotism that they show and for the enthusiasm they have for Carroll County and the Westminster area.
One thing we might want to add, Skip, is it's the window facing Main Street, so you shouldn't have any trouble finding that.
Right, just go right up the sidewalk and it's the window to the left, and it's beautifully done. Richard, I think you and I both were sort of taken back when we saw it, were we not?
Yes, we were. It's a very nice display. If you get a chance, like Skip said, you ought to go up there and look at it. It's well worth your time, and it's done very nicely. So you might want to just step up there and look at it anytime you go by the library here.
We want to also congratulate the Carroll County Historical Society. They always put exhibits together up at the Shellman House and so forth. So if you get a chance, go by there and see some of the exhibits that they have commemorating those who have served in the United States Armed Forces from Carroll County and Westminster area. They have a large, large collection of things that people have donated to them over the years concerning Carroll County's history. Obviously, they are the Historical Society, but especially about the World Wars and those who served from Carroll County. So if you get a chance, stop by there also to see the exhibits. When we first came on, you may have heard the church bells of Westminster ringing at 10 a.m. every Memorial Day observance as the parade kicks off, which is done at Monroe and Pennsylvania Avenue. All the church bells in Carroll County start to ring to commemorate the Memorial Day observance. Again, the Westminster American Legion Post 31 would like to thank all the churches for their cooperation and helping us establish this Memorial Day observance. There's applause in the parade right now, and as the TV lingo says, we're trying to fill space, but we're waiting for the beginning of the parade, which is of course marching and much slower than the Westminster Riders. Legion Riders, of course, they were noisy, and we want to get them up the route and out of the way, because if they were right in front of the parade, you would have a tough time hearing the bands. And the lead-off band will be the Westminster Municipal Band, which joined the observance in about 1910 or 1911, right after their formation. So they have been part of the Westminster Parade for over 100 years. Oh, they're showing the window right now on your screen. On the left is the window where the observance with the uniforms is. Please come by and take a look at it. The Westminster Municipal Band is a wonderful organization of volunteers which participates in this parade as well as other military observances and holiday observances all through the state of Maryland. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they still lead off the parade for the Firemen's Association in Ocean City each and every year. They have, if you haven't had a chance to go to the Westminster Municipal Band concerts in Belgrove Square each and every year, please do. It's on a Sunday night. Take a chair, go out to the Belgrove, which is located at Green and Liberty Street. They have a 4th of July parade, which they're part of, but the concerts are very enjoyable. On a Sunday evening in August, take a chair and go out and join them.
Skip, here comes that band right now.
Absolutely, Richard. Here they come. Led by the Westminster Police Department, probably has the chief of the police department riding in there, leading off the parade, along with the municipal band. In front of the municipal band, traditionally, in front of their banner, there is a young person carrying a wreath. All the organizations that are in the parade are encouraged to bring a wreath or the flowers to the cemetery to place on the mound. As you know, when it first started, it was called Decoration Day because they decorated the cemetery, the grave sites.
Skip, let me just interrupt you a minute. When the American flag comes by, the first flag in the parade, I'll stand up and salute that for Skip and myself. And then the rest of the American flags I will not be saluting, just to let everyone know.
And that's the proper procedure for the recognition of the flag. You should stand and salute or take off your hat and put your left hand over your heart, right hand over your heart, and pay observance to the flag as it passes by. As I was saying, there's a little child in front. Unfortunately, I don't know the name of the child this time, but they're carrying the wreath that will be placed at the Westminster Mound, where the services will be conducted starting at 11 o'clock. And I'll give you a rundown on the services in just a moment. And a traditional service that is always carried on. Services at the cemetery will be led off by the invocation by the Reverend Mark Baylock, pastor of St. John's Catholic Church, Singing of America by Mrs. Edith Burbage, accompanied by the Westminster Municipal Band, Lincoln's Gettysburg Address by Phil Royster, chaplain of American Legion Post, placing of the city wreath by Mayor Joe Dominic and Chief of Police Jeffrey Spalding, the Memorial Day Address by the Honorable Robert L. Flynn, Deputy Secretary, Maryland Department of Veteran Affairs, benediction by the Reverend Malcolm Strahan, Westminster United Methodist Church, the National Anthem by Mrs. Bailey Wolf, the firing squad from Manville Farm Post number 467, Veterans of Foreign Wars, and Taps and Echo by Greg Lance and David Miller of the Westminster Band. This is a traditional service. If you get a chance, please go out to the Westminster Cemetery beginning at 11 o'clock to follow the parade to the cemetery. You will be wonderfully rewarded by a great service. And now here comes the parade with the Chief of Police and the Westminster Police Car leading the parade, followed by the Westminster Municipal Band, with the young person in front with the wreath.
Skip, I think that is Chief of Police Jeff Spalding driving the vehicle there.
Yeah. Here comes the band. 125 years.
Again, Skip, a very organized, very good-looking
Wonderful
group.
band. And they are followed by the color guard from the Westminster American Legion Post number 31 with Vince Dell, Paul Emmerich, Brandon Bosley, Matt Schweitzer, Tom Long, and Larry Burnett. The color guard of the American Legion Post number 31. Followed by the Honorary Grand Marshal Junior Wance, who served first in a Second World War, and
Junior Fisher there.
Junior Fisher, I'm sorry, and Junior served in both the Army and the Navy during the Second World War. And that is followed by the Mayor of Westminster, Joe Dominic. Sons of the American Legion, the Commander of the American Legion Post, Alex Whitney, followed by a car with the Sons of the American Revolution. Carroll Post number 31. Followed by Miss Poppy. We talked about the poppies and the recognition of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Miss Poppy was Ashley Whitney. She's the junior Miss Poppy. The senior Miss Poppy is Tara Whitcomb. They're followed by the Junior Marines of Carroll County, sponsored by the American Legion Post number 31. They are followed by the Veterans of Foreign Wars.
Okay.
Then we have the Westminster, Maryland Veterans of Foreign Wars, post number 467. The yellow convertible is the Veterans of Foreign Wars again. We have Colonel Ron Hollingsworth, who has been a part of the parade for many years. The VFW Auxiliary, Post 467, Westminster, Maryland. Oh, look at this military vehicle coming. Supporting our troops, honoring our veterans. What a magnificent, that's a deuce and a half, as they used to call it in the military. VFW Post number 467 with veterans riding in that vehicle.
Our commander's also in there, Skip.
Pardon?
Their commander is also in there.
The commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars is there, followed by a Jeepster, or Humvee as they used to call them, or still call them, with the commander. An all-purpose utility military vehicle. And now we have coming some more Veterans of Foreign War. In a 1987 Humvee.
And they're passing out candies as they go along for the young folks.
We salute them with their flags. They also have a flag of the missing in action, and there still are quite a few of those. This is an 89 Humvee from the Veterans of Foreign Wars, also passing out candy to children, followed by a very, very interesting truck. This is I think it's from the Westminster Nurseries, but it's the...
No, it's from the White Pine Paving Company over in the Hampstead area.
Okay, thanks for the correction, Richard. I appreciate that. White Pine, what is that?
White Pine Paving. He's done that all up as breast awareness for, so that truck's been in many parades around here, many shows.
And now we have a group of World War II reenactors dressed in original uniforms, some riding in a Jeep, with a, looks like a 30 or 40, 50 caliber machine gun mounted on a Jeep, followed by a mule. And it was a great Vietnam unit or motor vehicle that was used in all kind of action in Vietnam, mounted with 50 caliber machine guns as well as bazookas. We have another military vehicle with children riding in it, waving the flag, and it's a Westminster Rescue Service.
More disabled veterans.
More disabled veterans riding in a truck with a trailer behind it carrying disabled veterans.
Maybe chapter 22 there, Skip.
All right, very good. Disabled Veterans, chapter number 22. What do we have there, Richard? What is the red car?
I'm not really sure on that, Skip. I have to read that. That's also part of the Disabled American Veterans.
Right, and there's a great looking antique car. My goodness gracious, somebody spent a lot of money fixing that sucker up. It's a wonderful looking car. I'm not sure what kind it is, but car enthusiasts will recognize it right away. City Council of Westminster. The City Council members of Westminster, I don't know in what order they're coming.
The mayor's right there.
Their mayor is right there in front. We have Mayor Joe Dominic, Dr. Robert Walk, Dr. Mona Becker, Tony Shafitsky, Greg Pepperero, and Ben Yingling, all members of the City Council of Westminster.
And behind him is Justin Reddy, state senator.
Okay, Justin Reddy
Susan
in the
Krebs
convertible.
behind him.
And who's behind us?
Susan Krebs.
In that antique old Ford. My goodness gracious, what a beautiful looking restored car.
It's a 1906 Cadillac G Sedan.
Okay, Cadillac. My correction. Then we have April Rose, a delegate from Carroll County, followed by Doug Mathias, a candidate for a delegate for Carroll County. Mathias' name goes back a long way.
David Ellens.
And Mr. David Ellen, also a candidate for delegate or House of Delegates from Carroll County. Home of the free because of the brave. Beautiful military vehicle now arriving. George Guitars Jr. And that great deuce and a half waving flags, followed by the Westminster High School Band. The girls are dressed appropriately in patriotic outfits. We thank you, Westminster High School Band, as well as the other bands you'll hear in the parade. 29th Infantry Division.
Military police.
Military police. The 29th Infantry Division has a long, long history in the story of the Americas. They go all the way back to the Revolutionary War and the defending of the crossing for Washington to escape from New York. They were at the D-Day. They fought through St. Louis and they joined up with the Russians. The 29th Division the Blue and Gray Division, because in the beginning most members were from Maryland and Virginia, the Confederacy as well as the Union. That's why they were called the Blue and Gray. Their patch is half blue and half gray. Beautiful looking military vehicles with machine guns mounted on the top.
And Skip, they're right here out of our own hometown of Westminster, right there on Hahn Road.
Right, and they're followed by the Civil Air Patrol, another wonderful organization. If you're looking for organizations for your young folks, your grandchildren, your children to be part of, you're going to see a few of them in this parade. The Civil Air Patrol is one of them. They teach discipline. They learn about rescue missions, both on land and in the sea. They learn about the history of the United States and obedience to the flag and command. Wonderful organization for your children to be in. Civil Air Patrol. Next followed by Winters Mill High School ROTC, about 40 participants. ROTC is another fine organization for young people to be part of, to learn self-discipline, command procedures, and so forth. Now we have the Sons of the American Revolution, all descendants. Their forefathers were members of the American Revolution, which started this nation. It's the SAR, Sons of the American Revolution.
And they have like two cars and 10 folks in here.
Right, a number of them. A man by the name of Mr. Massey was a leader of this organization for many, many, many years. Daughters of the American Revolution follow the Sons of the American Revolution, another fine organization which perpetuates patriotism and history of the country. Disabled Marine Veterans, Thomas Lynn Group, in the military vehicle. The Catholic War Veterans of Westminster, and they are followed by, my goodness gracious, the Pike Creek Civil War Round Table, Westminster. And these folks, I take my hat off to them each and every year, because they march in this parade in outfits that not only portray the Civil War, but are original. These folks are sticklers for everything being woolen and home-made. In hot weather, it's really something else.
Well, you can imagine just in hot weather what the uniforms are, Skip. They're pretty warm, but today, with that little bit of mist in the air we have, it's a lot easier for them.
Break, yeah. And here come the Civil War reenactors. They have some wonderful things out at the Farm Museum each and every year, encampments. They are followed by the World War II reenactors in original outfits. They even have a nurse following along in the parade, as long as a World War II Jeep. This is an original World War II Jeep which has been restored. This is not a reproduction. This is the original, owned by Mr. Ray Brown, and he is also a Korean War veteran. And now, there's the World War II Jeep. And now we have the band from Carroll Christian Academy, Patriotic Band, dressed in beautiful red, white, and blue, and sounding very good. Let's listen to it.
Very directive. decorated uniforms there, Skip.
Yes, sir, they certainly are. The band is followed by students from Carroll Christian Academy. Now we have another beautiful World War II vehicle. Carroll Christian Academy students riding on the float behind the military vehicle with the "Don't Tread on Me" and "Missing in Action." All the students dressed as patriotically as they can, and they're looking great.
And Skip, they have the flag of Hiroshima on there
they're
also.
reenacting the raising of the flag on Iwo Jima. A tremendous war bond effort was raised with a picture of that raising of the flag. This is the
Cub Scout.
Boy Scout post number 381. We'll have a number of Boy Scout posts and Cub Scout posts following one after another now. This group is carrying an American flag horizontally with them, which is quite a little trek up this hill, by the way, from the railroad tracks up to the center street. And this is pack number 392 from Sykesville of Cub Scouts. Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, wonderful organizations for you to get your young people involved in, and you could not just be a chauffeur, be a participant. Volunteer along with your children. It's a great thing. We have the Cub Scouts of America, post 791 from Hampstead. The pickup truck followed by a float with the children on it, all waving flags. We have another Cub Scout pack coming along. I think it's 420. Here we have another pickup truck with some Cub Scouts on it. The mom's walking alongside.
That'll be pack 631, Skip.
631 from where?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, but pack number 631. We have
Westminster, Maryland.
Westminster, Maryland, all right. There are groups all over the county. Again, if you want your young people involved in great organizations, try any of these that we see. Cub Scout Pack 733 from Winfield, Maryland. Takes a lot of time and effort for these volunteers, the parents and so forth, to work with these children, and our hats are off to them all the time for all the effort they put in helping these children learn what is the right thing. Cub Scout Pack number 420 from Westminster. Sponsored by St. John's Catholic Church. Look at those little go-karts or whatever you want to call them. I bet you the children, along with their parents' help, built them themselves. We now have a Sykesville post of Cub Scouts.
Pack.
Can't get the number directly, but
Pack 833, Skip.
883. All right. And now we have Knights of Columbus.
671. Stand by and I'll let you know.
Cub Scout Pack 2671. 2671.
Now Westminster.
Troop
also.
number 393, Westminster, Maryland, Boy Scouts. 393, Westminster, Maryland. And we have a Sandy Mount Cub Scout pack, 395. 395 from Sykesville, Maryland. Oh, they're pulling a nice little display of flags on top of a wagon. Somebody spent a good deal of time putting that together. Very well done. There it is on your screen right now. And now we have, looks like another Cub Scout pack.
We'll let you know in a moment.
Well, we can't get the number on that pack, but thank them for participating. We really enjoy it. And we have a Girl Scout troop of Central Maryland, pack number 60, or troop number 66. You know, Girl Scouts or girls can now join the Boy Scouts, and that's going to be an interesting organization with the boys and girls together. Oh, no wonder we didn't have it. We were just handed a list that says that it's a 1065 Girl Scout troop from Community. That was one that was not on our list, but was added as the parade started. Oftentimes these groups show up at the beginning of the parade and are fed in. No one is ever turned away. If you show up to be part of the parade, you'll be part of the parade. We'll get you in them.
We'll get you in there.
And here comes the Taylorsville,
From Arbutus.
which is a marching, performing group. Arbutus Taylorsville, baton twirlers, 25 marchers, all the way up from Arbutus, Maryland. We appreciate their appearing in the parade. Oh, here come the leading majorettes with the tossing of the batons in the air and catching them. Hey, good for them. They caught them. Very good.
Putting on a little display for us,
Oh, it worked. I wonder how many hours they spent rehearsing that. Hey! They have quite a music organization. They're a small group, but they certainly make themselves known.
Behind them, Skip, is the Westminster United Methodist Church.
Arbutus Hill. And then the green is from the Methodist Church of Westminster. A little golf cart all decorated. This is this the Knights of Columbus? York Rite Masonry, Knights of Columbus.
And don't forget the 864th Engineer Battalion Alumni Association there.
Right. Knights of Columbus and their distinct outfits, followed by another fraternal organization. I believe that's the Masons, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Which chapter Masons? Is that the
I have to
Westminster?
look at that for you, Skip. Hang on a second. Sometimes it's hard to follow these things because they're a little bit out of order. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure
They
what that
don't
is.
line
I
up
think it's
as
out of
their wrist.
Westminster.
Door to Virtue Lodge, number 46 of the Masonic family. They got a beautiful float with their emblem behind it.
And again, they're honoring our veterans, Skip. As you can
Yeah.
see, they're remembering our fallen veterans on there.
followed by the children from St. John's Westminster School. Now remember, St. John's and Westminster Elementary were the first two organizations to participate in the very first Memorial Day observance. And they often join the parade right at this site, which is where St. John's Parochial School was located. So they start here historically and march to the cemetery. Thank goodness for them and their many, many, many years of participating in this parade. We have a beautiful motorcycle and sidecar approaching with the waving of flags of just a patriotic person joining the parade. No particular organization being represented, but it's a great looking motorcycle and sidecar.
And here comes one of the reverends from the St. John's Catholic Church.
Thank you, Reverend, for being part. And again, the color guard from the Knights of Columbus. In their colorful outfits, beautifully put together. We have the van coming now from the 4th Degree Knights of Columbus. They donate vans each and every, or whenever needed, to the Ark of Maryland. That's their big charity, and thank goodness for them. The Ark is a wonderful organization for people who need their services, and they do a magnificent job here in Carroll County, placing people in jobs and home situations and all kinds of organizations. The Ark is something to be supported each and every time that you get an opportunity to do so. And the Knights of Columbus, their thing is supplying vans to the Ark. Thank goodness for them and what they do.
Skip, our gentleman here that's helping us with the parade, keeping tabs of things, Mr. Todd Mitchell, Second Vice Commander of the American Legion Post 31, is telling us there's a big spread here now between the organizations, so we might have to do a little fill-in here.
Do a little fill-in, but it's a pleasure. We thank Todd. He's doing a wonderful job running out and looking down the street for us and then giving us a high sign when something has been added to the parade that's not on our list. And again, we welcome all organizations. If you belong to an organization, either of senior citizens or anyone else that would like to participate in this parade, you're welcome to do so. We have Calvary Baptist Church now coming with their float and design display. Not quite sure what it is at this moment, but it looks very, very nice. As you can see, the crowd along the parade has really filled in. It's amazing how many people are here today representing the citizens of Carroll County and beyond on such a cold, misty day. Thank goodness it's not raining. I think the parade in all the 151 years has only been rained out once. Can you believe that? 151 years, and only 1 year did they have to cancel the parade. And when that is done, there is a memorial service still held at the old Westminster Armory at 11 o'clock. But that has only had to be done once.
One thing I will add there, Skip, when we first started out, the wind was blowing that mist right on us, and now it's stopped, so it's a little bit better, a little windy, but it's not blowing rain on us anymore.
Yeah, when we first arrived here about 9:30 this morning at this location, it was cold, believe me, bitter cold, but it has settled down. It's still not warm, but it's not as blistery and cold as it was.
And I think that might have been the reason some of the groups didn't show up, Skip. I think the rain and the mist and all did that.
But God cometh his love toward man, in that we were yet sinners. Christ died for us. Beautifully, beautifully done by Calvary Baptist Church.
And they're playing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Yeah. Calvary Bible Church. Oh, they have another wonderful float behind them. Beautifully done. Of a statue of a soldier displaying reverence towards a fallen member of his command. What a beautiful display.
In God we trust.
In God we trust is right.
Very nice display
And a
there.
Liberty Bell. Oh my goodness, that is wonderfully done.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much.
John Deere tractor pulling Clearview Bible Church. Buried around the world, 124,905 of our heroes buried with foreign souls in 24 United States burial grounds abroad. Beautiful display on that float. Nicely, nicely done. This is Creative Springs Church. If I'm not mistaken, this may be their first year entry in the parade. I don't recall them from the past, but thank them for becoming part of this parade. We welcome them for sure.
Some of them little guys ought to be really getting tired here, Skip.
Yeah, well, it's a tough walk uphill for some of these small people. Very, very, as well as some of the senior citizens, of which we wouldn't know anything about, Richard.
That's correct. That's correct. My parade walking days might be over.
I go along with that. Now we have a number of convertibles coming by.
What's Mountain City?
This is Mrs. Mountain City, Julian Johnson. And then this might be her court. Is this?
Where?
Lauren Hill,
Here.
Miss Antietam Outstanding Teen, Janelle Armstrong. These ladies are beautifully dressed with their tiaras. They look very, very nice in the parade. This is Miss Maryland Scholarship Organization, Laurel Hill, Miss Preston Feast. Then the Lions Club, another beautiful service organization, Greater Carroll County Lions Club, Scholarship Awards, Leader Dogs, and Eyeglasses are their greater charities that they participate in. The lion, that's a beautiful golden lion. Children riding on a little float behind.
Just to tell you a few things that Skip can't understand some of the people who are in the parade, because the cars nowadays don't hold magnetic signs, so some of them don't put signs on.
Exactly.
It's kind of hard to see who the heck's riding in that car. So
Fortunately, I've been around enough years that I know many, many people, and I can identify them even though their names are not on the side, but we welcome them into the parade. Deer Park Lions Club. Here comes an couple old cars symbolizing the Deer Park Lions Club. Oh my goodness gracious, look at these old cars, aren't they beautiful? Oh, they're putting right along. Somebody's done a great job restoring those.
Oh my God, the little brush motor cars, a little skipping there.
Yeah, all of this Deer Park Lions Club. And now we have the Taylorsville Winfield Lions Club with a nice looking float on the back and everybody wearing star glasses. Somebody's wearing their old uniform, and they obviously support medical supplies for people, crutches, wheelchairs, hospital beds, and so forth. Another outstanding activity of the Lions Clubs of Maryland. And this is the Rotary Club of Westminster. I have to be prejudiced here because I'm a member of this Rotary Club, and that's Mr. Bill Gavin's Jaguar car there. He's very proud of.
Behind them, Skip.
Okay. And behind them in the antique truck is the Historical Society of Carroll County. We say hello to Jim Leitner and Bill Gavin and the honorable war veterans. Jaguar of Bills.
They're pushing the one car up there, Skip, the old Model A.
The old Model A gave in. And this is the Historical Society of Carroll County in the historical wagon with Bob George.
No. This is the Westminster Baseball League coming up here.
Westminster Baseball League with Bob George. Gone but never forgotten. A wonderful sign for Remembrance of Memorial Day. There's Rob Burke in that group there. Rob is the county controller. Free State Corvette Club. And by the way, we want to give our hats off for them because they have provided us with many, many Corvette cars. Their members are a wonderful group. Wayne Dunaway is the parade leader, and Wayne and his Corvette Club participate in a whole lot of things, and they are great friends of ours for providing these Corvettes for celebrities and so forth and honorees to ride in. Plus it gives them a great opportunity to show off their cars. This is the largest organization of Corvette cars in the country, as I understand it. They're located in Catonsville, Maryland, and they participate in all kinds of activities, especially a Corvette weekend at Ocean City, Maryland, which I understand is the largest grouping of Corvette cars in the United States. And they have them from all years and all vintages. Today, I think we have something around 15 or more different Corvette cars in the parade. Beautifully kept and beautifully outfitted. Hats off to them again from American Legion Post number 31.
Got some nice looking cars there, Skip.
Oh, they sure are. Beautifully, beautifully polished and well preserved.
Giving us a little rev up every once in a while.
Oh, yeah. They got to show off, don't they?
That's right. With a car like that, I think I'd be showing off too.
I think so too. I don't know whether I could keep them as polished as they do, but I'd love to have one.
I'll be glad to come over and help you out.
Here comes one of the older ones there in the red convertible with the white top. Kiwanis Club of Westminster approaching. Another fine civic organization along with Rotary and Lions. If you're looking forward to something, looking for something to be involved with that does good works, any one of these civic organizations would be worthwhile your joining. Here comes the banner of the Kiwanis Club, serving the children of the world. Here's Mr. Bob Jones in one of the cars, longtime Kiwanis member and supporter. Carroll Hospice, a wonderful organization, Carroll County General Hospital Group, Megan Grensler. Carroll Hospice, as you know, takes care of people who are at the end stage of their life and does a wonderful, wonderful job doing it. We have, fortunately in Carroll County, we have the Dove House, which really is the hospice facility that was built in connection with the Westminster Hospital, Carroll County General Hospital. This is the greater chapter of the Women's Club of Maryland with its members in these convertibles. Norma Jean, let's see, we have, who else is there?
Barb Humbert,
and let's see, lots of these ladies I know, but they're going by too fast for me to read them all.
It looks like Linda Kegelgard.
But this group, the Women's Club of Westminster, does magnificent work also in raising funds for various activities that they participate, especially in the Dr. Seuss read-along that they conducted in schools in Carroll County, which has grown to be a magnificent event. They read in almost every school in Carroll County. There goes Mrs. Jackie Herring, who has been the leader of that for many, many years. But they get all kinds of persons to read with Dr. Seuss activities, wearing hats and reading the poems to children in the school and having them participate. A great group of people. The four-pawed Freedom Seeing Puppy Club coming up. Everybody knows about the service dogs and the growing need for these kinds of dogs to help people who have disabilities. These dogs are really magnificently trained and great participants. If you get a chance to support the organization, please do, because the service dogs are needed by many, many people with all kinds of disabilities, just not seeing, but hearing, stability. Even they found out these dogs are wonderful for people with epilepsy and other kinds of seizures. The dogs settle them down. We now have a group of volunteer fire department vehicles coming. Again, it's volunteer fire department carnival season, starting with, I think, Union Bridge is this week. So if you see
so is Gamber.
Is it Gamber this week? Maybe
yes,
Union
correct.
Bridge also. Please go to these carnivals. Support them because they are a valuable part of our community. Without the volunteer fire departments, just think what your taxes would be if these people didn't provide the equipment and the personnel that keep us safe and sound. Beautiful equipment, beautiful, beautiful equipment. Most of it bought with volunteer money raised by these fire departments.
And Skip, that's the Westminster Volunteer Fire Department.
Right.
They had their utility, their engine, and their tower in the parade here with us.
Very, very good. And this is the conclusion of the parade with the Westminster City Police. Remember, the services will now pick up at Westminster Cemetery. They will be televised, so stay tuned, don't turn away. You'll see the magnificent program at the Westminster Cemetery. We would like to thank the Carroll, the Community Media Center for our helpers today, Mike Almercos, Mark Leake, Aaron Cusino, and of course the Executive Director, Richard Turner. Carroll Post number 31 would like to thank them for participating with us in the television of this parade and observance of Memorial Day. We now cut from here to the Westminster Cemetery for the beginning of the memorial services there. Stay tuned for that. You'll be very impressed. Thank you again for being part of this television production. We thank each and every one of you and all the participants on behalf of Westminster Post number 31.
And we thank you very much.
And God bless America.